Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. Today we're doing one of my favorite videos, a classic, a staple, which is Beauty Empties. Today is going to be a focus on skincare and makeup, which I'm very excited about. I've been in a low no-buy for 6 months, crazy, and this is going to be everything I used up in those categories while I was on a low no-buy. All right, so if you're new here, hi, thank you for stopping by. But I have a playlist that I'll link down below that explains what's going on my channel this year. It's a lot, but the TLDR is that I've been on a low or no buy for the last 6 months. That being said, the goal was to use up products and only replace things in these categories specifically, and then we had a low buy in other categories. So for skincare and makeup, it's going to be really interesting to see what I used up in 6 months. And I would have replaced most of these, but we'll go through my experience with the product, if I would repurchase, if I already have repurchased. And I'm also going to be using this, taking data points, so that when I go into the next half of this year, I know if I really need to buy something or have a backup of something or not. So that said, let's get into skincare first. All right, starting with first step, I have cleansers. And this is really interesting. So I have 5 total empties for cleansers. Kind of 5.5, we'll get into that, which is very interesting. It's about 1 a month, so that makes sense. At first I thought it was low, but that makes sense, and we'll get into why I think it's around that number anyway. But first up, I have 2 empties of the Vanicream Cleanser. This is their Gentle Facial Cleanser. I'm so happy that the internet has somewhat caught on to this. It seems like a fairly common recommendation now. When I first started recommending this on my channel, this was still kind of like an under the radar brand, especially because a lot of people, when they think gentle and drugstore, they're thinking CeraVe or Cetaphil. I think Vanicream is the superior brand. I've used a lot of their products in the past. I have been very loyal to this cleanser for years and years and years. I think I started using this back in 2015, 2016. It's fabulous. 8 ounces for like $8 or $9, depending on where you pick it up. It's at Amazon. It's at Target, all the drugstores, Walmart. I'm just so happy people are seeing this for what it is. This I use a lot for first and second cleanse. Like until recently, I'd been using this for both. It does a great job at removing makeup, but it is still gentle enough. It doesn't dry my skin out. My skin is very dry, dehydrated, easily sensitized, acne prone, all of those things. So I talk about this in every empties. I think it's no shock that it's in here, but I've used 2 of them. I do share this with my husband. He uses it as well, but he wasn't using this as much, or there would have been more, I think. But love this. Have I repurchased? Yes, actually I have a subscription set up for this because my husband and I prefer it over a lot of what we've had. But I do split this now and use it mainly as a first wash or a first cleanse. And I'm using the Prequel cleanser as a second cleanse, so I have this and the Prequel on my vanity now. Then the next one up I have is the Acidenzyme Exfoliating Cleanser from Beautypie. It's a 2% BHA and 3% papaya enzyme complex. It also has mallow extract, SIBO clear, and oat extract. The SIBO clear is like a Beautypie proprietary blend of things, but I really liked this at first, and what I used it for at first was body cleanse for my chest and arms, because I do have keratosis pilaris and also some breakouts on my chest. On the face, it's a little too astringent for me, and so using it as a body cleanser got it down quite a bit because I've had this for some time now. My husband actually finished this up and he felt that it was a little too astringent too. So he has like normal skin, I would say right down the middle, normal skin. He doesn't suffer with breakouts too often. So if you do have more oily skin and a little bit more, a skin that takes to more astringent things easier, I think it would be good. The price point on the Beautypie cleansers is always good, especially these larger ones. You get 13.5 fluid ounces and it's under $20. So, I mean, if you can handle it, great, but it's not for me. And I have found other things that we'll get to in the body care video that work better for my KP and my chest acne. So sadly, this will not be repurchased, but I'm happy to see it emptied and gone. Next up, we have more of a first cleanse. So this is another one I've talked about a lot on my channel. I've been pretty consistent with this since I first started using it up until this last year. It is the Beautypie Japanfusion Pure Transforming Cleanser. It has vitamin C and great polyphenols. This is an excellent balm cleanser. It's a pure transforming cleanser is what they call it. Basically, it comes out as like a gel. It goes on like a jelly cleanser. It then emulsifies into like a milk and then takes all your makeup away. The jelly kind of breaks down into an oil that then emulsifies. So I really love this. I will correct myself if I need to, but the price has continued to go up with Beautypie, and I had stopped using a lot of the Beautypie skincare, so I wasn't making regular orders as much. So I stopped using this. I would happily go back to this any day. This is just as effective as Clinique Take the Day Off Balm and gentle. It's also not scented. Let me just verify. It is not scented, which I love. The reason I choose this over the Take the Day Off Balm is 1, the cost, and 2, you don't get those clumps like you do with like the Pharmacy Cleanser balm or the Take the Day Off balm. This is just like a jelly cleanser, so it's really, really nice. I would absolutely repurchase this. If I do another Beautypie order in the near future, I would gladly pick this up, but for right now, I'm just using the Vanicream and the Prequel, so I have not repurchased, but I have had many of these, and I would highly recommend it to anybody with a Beautypie membership. All right, and I thought we had 5, but we have 4, so the last one up is also from Beautypie. It's the Super Healthy Skin Deep Purifying Cleanser. I didn't know what category to put this in because this is a mask and a cleanser. So it has white clay and kaolin in it. And what I love about this is even on the directions, it says you can leave on for 2 to 3 minutes. So I would put this on before I got into the shower if my face was clean. I would put this on, give it 2 minutes while the shower heated up, and then I would get in and rinse this off. It is a beautiful clay mask that foams into a nice cleanser. So I love this. They have since pulled this off the shelf and replaced it with a Dr. Glycolic label, I think. I'm not 100% sure if the ingredients have changed. I do want to keep this package. Actually, they don't have the ingredients on here. I would love to know if anyone else has experience with the new one. I would purchase the new one, because masking for me, I hate having something on my face for a long time. So this was a perfect way to get a little bit of a clay mask in without a long commitment. I just haven't tried the new one. If it is the same as this, I highly recommend it, especially if you're like a busy mom or a busy person. It's an easy way to get like a 2-minute mask in, and it was effective and it was gentle, and I loved it so much. Unscented, lovely, lovely. Under 15, I think. Definitely under 20, so I would recommend the new one if it's the same, but I don't know, so I have not repurchased. I haven't been masking. I'm not a mask girl. And what I'm using right now for skincare has really cleared up my face other than like my scarring and hormonal breakouts, so do with that information what you will. All right, so let's say I just cleansed my face. The next step I'm gonna go in with is a mist or a toning mist. I have my favorite type of mist, I should say, is hypochlorous acid. It has a lot of good benefits for the skin. I talk about that in my Angry Skin video. I've waxed on about it plenty on my channel. But I finished a large refill of the Tower28, and I was using the mini bottle. A larger bottle, I think, was in a previous empty, but I was just using the refill to refill this one. I love it, and Tower28 was one of the first kind of indie brands to bring it forth more in a more marketable way. Hypochlorous acid has been around for a little bit. We don't have to go into all of that, but Tower28 is like the first Sephora brand or like brand that's on that kind of radar to have it, and I loved it. And then we saw like a surgence of all of these like drugstore cheaper versions come up, and I agree, you do not need to spend this much on hypochlorous acid. I was happy to have it. It worked fine. I did see a difference with this one, but we're gonna get into one that I think I saw more of a difference with and that is cheaper. But yeah, finish these up. And then once I was done with that, I had tried the Prequel Universal Skin Solution Dermal Spray. This is for face and body. All hypochlorous acid spray that is marketed for either face or body is face and body. It's a very safe ingredient, and it is great for inflammation, bacteria, all those things. But this one from Prequel, I absolutely love. The mister, there's no way anything's gonna come out. Maybe, oh, There's like little shots. I'll take some, you know, it's not coming out. The mister is absolutely phenomenal on this, and this is $17. Prequel is my top favorite skincare brand, even above Vanicream, even though I love Vanicream, and even above Phytosurgence, even though I love Phytosurgence. But those are probably my 3 top favorite skincare brands. They just do everything in a way that is super effective but super gentle, and I don't have to worry about the products. I've tried all of Prequel. We're gonna do that video, but I love this. I love the price point. It's also, for the price point, very nice looking on the vanity, which is what I think Tower28 had up on some of the cheaper brands, but this knocks it out of the park and is way better than even Tower28. So I love this. I use this for everything. I use it on my body. It has cleared up my chest more than any acid body wash has. That and this in combination with soft services, which we'll talk about in the body care video, has really cleared up my chest and my shoulders. So I can't rave about this brand enough. And if you're in the market for hypochlorous acid, this one seems more effective to me than Tower28 ever did. So love that. All right, and the last toning mist I have, I worked on this forever, and I usually use this right before makeup to just kind of rehydrate the skin. And it is the Fitglow Ceramide Toning Mist. I love this toning mist. It is quite pricey though. I think at the time that I purchased it, it was like $38. I love it so much. My skin really loves sea-derived ingredients. Think algae, spirulina, all of that good stuff. However, I would love to repurchase this if there's a good enough sale at Fitglow and I just happen to need a mist like this. Absolutely, but I think right now my skin loves what I'm using and I don't need to go out of my way to pay almost $40 when my current skincare routine is all $25 or under and is doing a phenomenal job for me. So if you have the budget and your skin loves sea-derived ingredients, I highly recommend this. I love Fitglow as a company. They just seem to be a little too out of price range for me, and I get around that by waiting for sales and using 20% off codes. But my day-to-day, I just think Prequel has what I need. I won't say anymore because I'm just saying the same thing, but yeah, would recommend, did not repurchase. Okay, so something I should have covered probably right after cleansers is exfoliators. My skin cannot take a lot of chemical exfoliants. It is very, very easily sensitized, and I have yet to try a lot of products with chemical exfoliants that doesn't upset it. So I stick to manual. Do with that what you will. I know a lot of people would say that it's terrible. For me, it's the only way I can get exfoliation, and I don't exfoliate that much. I focus my skincare mostly on hydration and anti-inflammatory ingredients and soothing. But if I've kind of taken care of a breakout like this one here, there's some flakies, or I missed a couple of days of doing the whole shebang of my skincare and I just need to remove some dead skin, I will use the Dermalogica Daily Milkfoliant, which was recommended by one of you, I think, over a year ago, and I have remained very loyal. This is my second travel size that I've gone through. I use exfoliant so little that I just stick to the small package because I think I only buy this like maybe once a year and maybe 1.5 times a year. Like there might be a little overlap there, but in 6 months I did go through this one, but I had it longer than January. So I would say I'm right in this assumption. It's $14 for the travel, and then the larger one, I'm not 100% sure, but I would highly recommend this to anybody. It's very, very fine. It is calming oat-based powder. It smells like the Bourbon Trail, like the mash, if you've ever visited a distillery. So I love that about it, but it's also just very, very gentle and your face will feel so silky smooth. If you are hesitant to do a physical exfoliant, but you can't handle chemical exfoliants, highly recommend checking this out. Or if you have sensitive skin, I highly recommend this. This is my favorite exfoliant and the only one I will have. I have repurchased, happy to have it. Okay, now we're getting into serums. So the first serum that I usually use that we can get out of the way here is Phytosurgence Sea Submerge. So this is about what I thought it would be. About every 2 months I get a new one. I use this morning and sometimes night. There for a while I was doing morning and night. If you need soothing, calming, anti-acne plumping, all of those things. This is the only serum you need. It is under $20. I've waxed on about this in so many videos. The last Empties, I talk about this and compare every serum to it, and this one wins out every time. If I could only have one serum, it would be this one. I love this so much, so much. This is probably going to be one of my top recommendations again out of this Empties, just like it was last time. Check out all of my other videos. I talk about this in favorites, year-end favorites, Empties. So I won't bore you too much, but 3, so 1 every 2 months. Accurate. Love it. Already have it on my vanity. The next one I have is from Medik8. Medik8 is like just outside of my top 3, and it is because I think I haven't tried enough of the right things. I've tried a few things that are staples for me, and I've tried a few things that were just too aggressive for me. But if you're looking for some impressive actives, Prequel hasn't really come out with a lot of actives other than their vitamin C. So if you're looking for actives like retinol with an A, or exfoliators, chemical exfoliators, that type of thing, I would go to Medik8. That's what I would recommend. I have here the liquid peptides. It's a 30% complex hydrating peptide serum, and this also has copper peptides in it as well. I use this up. Peptides are a long game ingredient. It's not something that you're going to see right away, and that always has me on the fence about if I need them in my routine. I waffle back and forth all the time, like I want peptides, I want a copper peptide, and then I don't need peptides. And so I've never been consistent enough with them to truly know if it is doing something. I think now that I've gotten a really strong skincare routine down that I would be happy to share, I have incorporated a vitamin C from Prequel that works for my skin, and I also have a retinol from Naturium that is very, very gentle, and it is a very low percentage. I think my goal with that is to work myself up to the low strength Medik8 retinol. And the other thing I would love to add in is a copper peptide. Now, when I used this up, I didn't realize that this had a copper peptide in it. And what I will say is, like, when it comes to a hydrating serum, Submerge does more than this in terms of hydration. I've said it in so many videos. Submerge is moisturizing enough even on my skin that is dry and dehydrated all the time. I don't have to go in with anything right away because it moisturizes just fine. This doesn't do that, but it also didn't do anything negative to my skin, and I got through the whole bottle. And I haven't repurchased because this is a very pricey serum. Medik8 can be quite expensive. Know that going into it. I think if I want to try to introduce copper peptides back in, I'm very tempted to try the Ordinary, which I think is at least $10 to $20 cheaper than this. Actually, let's look that up. Yep, so the Medik8 is 1 fluid ounce at $64, not cheap. And the Ordinary is also 1 ounce at $32, so exactly half the cost. I think I want to try the Ordinary. It also comes highly recommended from Abby Young, but I haven't repurchased a peptide product. I think the Ordinary is going to be the one that I do, but I don't have any negatives about this other than the cost. And I'll leave that up to you to decide if it's worth it for you. All right, moving right along. I have Peach Slices Redness Relief Azaleaic Acid Serum with 10% azelaic acid. I just don't tolerate acids well. However, this one did not do anything negative to my skin if I didn't overuse it. So every once in a while I would use this, but I haven't used it all up. There's some air in here, but it is past its prime. It smells off, and I think it has a 12-month shelf life, and it's been opened in my bathroom for 1.5 years. I'm just not messing around with my face like that. Do with that what you will. However, I would recommend this if you tolerate acids, even if you kind of don't tolerate acids. The Peach Slices is one of my favorite brands too, but I don't use a lot of their products anymore. However, I would recommend them, and they come out with really cool lines. They just came out with like an oil mattifying line that looks really great. So if any of you have oily skin that you struggle with, I would definitely check out the new line that they have. They typically are $20 and under, which I also appreciate. That's my sweet spot for things that I repurchase. I don't need azelaic acid in my routine. This was when I was still trying to fit into the box of everyone exfoliating. I would recommend it if it ticks the boxes of a product that you need, but for me, I did not repurchase. I will stick to my Dermalogica as my one and only exfoliant. But yeah, this was fine. If it's for you, it's for you, but not for me. Sticking to the Peach Slices train, I have a Snail Rescue Blemish Busting Toner. This is essentially the COSRX Snail Mucin. This one I think is cheaper. I think let's look it up because now I have a camera and I can use my phone. For 4 ounces, it is $13.99, which is an excellent price point. And the COSRX is usually $25 for 3.38 fluid ounces. So you definitely get a better deal with this. What I will say is I really like this. It is a little less viscous and gooey than the COSRX, so if that's something that you're concerned with, this one's a little better. There's still a Snail Mucin toner, so they're still goopy and sticky and all the stuff that you see. This is also a pour out toner, and the COSRX is a pump. I have used up more COSRX than I have. This is the only one I've used up of this. I've since gone back to COSRX. Right now, as I'm filming, and probably for the next few days, the COSRX is on sale for $12.50 if you're in the market for that. I still have like a third of my COSRX left, so I'm not going to repurchase right now because I know I want to include Snail Mucin, but I'm also looking at the COSRX double essence that they have with Snail Mucin. But the long and short of it is, would I recommend this? Absolutely. It is a much better deal than COSRX. I just prefer the COSRX, and I don't think I have like a true reason why. I think it's more effective, but that could be in my brain. So take that with a grain of salt. I would recommend, and I recommend looking at their line in general. So we've cleansed, we've exfoliated, we've serumed and toned. What I would do next is moisturize. So I have a Verdant Forcefield from Phytosurgence here. It is their restorative moisturizer. Woo! Green tea, licorice root, centella, PHAs, allantoin, and panthenol. This is a fabulous, fabulous moisturizer. I scrape mine out. It smells of green tea even though it is not scented. It's just the ingredients. I absolutely love this moisturizer. I will use this day and night. If I travel, this is the only moisturizer that I travel with. Definitely use it in the morning because it really plumps my skin and hydrates it really well for makeup application. I highly recommend this. I believe this one is around the $20 mark. It's 38 Canadian. It is $27. So a little bit higher than my $25 standard, but I love this. I use this every day. And moisturizer is something that I'm dabbling a little bit more in because I do need something occlusive at night. This is, but the texture of it is not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that we're going to talk about in a minute. But I do highly recommend this. I love the Phytosurgence skincare. It's delicious. Moving right along to the Beautypie Happy Face Extreme Cica Moisture Cream. I love this. I talk about this in a lot of different videos. I have a full deep dive of Beautypie skincare as well. This is $18. I love it. I hope they don't continue to raise the price of it, but you do get 2.5 fluid ounces, so it is larger than a traditional moisturizer, which I appreciate. I love this. Again, I would be happy to repurchase this. This is lighter weight. It's not enough for me on its own as a moisturizer at night, and Phytosurgence kind of has my morning cornered. Like, I'm not straying from the Phytosurgence in the morning, so this has kind of lost its place in my routine. And I've also found those ingredients where I have soothed, hydrated skin without having to incorporate a separate product for Cica. So I do highly recommend this if you're a Beautypie member and you need something that is soothing and it is like a gel formula similar to the Aqua Bomb from Belief. Love, love, love this. It just has lost its space in my routine and I have not repurchased. All right, then something that is a moisturizer and also a mask is from Medik8, and this is my top favorite product from Medik8, and I cannot recommend this one enough. Now, this one is interesting when it comes to cost because you have 2 products, and within each product you get 1.6 fluid ounces, so it's quite hefty. You get over 3 ounces of product. It is $68 for this duo, which is nothing to scoff at. So it's like $22 per ounce. So it's kind of in that range that I would pay for a regular moisturizer. But I want to read a little bit about what the HEO mask is, and then I'll talk about my experience with it. But I can tell you right now, I love it so much. So the description of this says, wake up to visibly plump, glowing and intensely hydrated skin with Medicate's 2-step overnight treatment mask. HEO takes a fundamentally scientific approach to maximum skin moisturization to deliver clinically proven skin hydration, moisture retention, and barrier support both instantly and over time. And the draw of this, they say the H is for humectants, the E is for emulsifiers, and the O is for, I don't know. I don't know what the O is for. Anyway, it has natural moisturizing factors in the first step. So this is a 2-step mask. You use the first step, which is like a gel serum. It's a pretty thick gel serum. This is completely empty. I scraped it out. But it has natural moisturizing factors which attract and retain moisture, and a multi-weight hyaluronic acid. And then you let this sink into the skin for like a minute or two, and then you apply the second part of the mask, which is the ceramides and squalane. So what I love about this is when I use this, I really do wake up the next day with like visibly plumpened skin and happy skin. I really would love to use this every single night. I think they say on the website they do 2 to 3 times a week or as required. I'm sure they're fine if you use it every night, you know, but I've never had any negative effects from this. It might sting a little if you're super dry. I've noticed that with this first step, but not in a bad way. And the next day I wake up so much better off. I love this. And what I'm looking for in a nighttime moisturizer is essentially the step 2 of this. It's very occlusive, but not in a way that is comedogenic or causes any acne flare-ups or anything. This is, if I could get this cream on its own, I would. And they also have sea-derived ingredients in both of these things. And I know that that's partially why my skin loves it. So if you are super dry, this is what I would recommend. And I think the price breakdown makes sense because you get so much bang for your buck. And these lasted me forever. I have since repurchased this, and this is on my shelf, and I do still use it, and I love it so much. This is going to be in the top 3 of this Empties as well. I would really love for Medicate to give me a code because, one, I would like to use the code myself, but also some of those things I would have no hesitation recommending to my audience and to you if it was just a little bit less expensive. But all the products are very effective. So then moving on, let's do lips. I finished the Fenty Plush Puddin lip mask. I really like this lip mask. Yeah, it's like a vanilla smell. It's really nice at night. I have not repurchased. I also like the delivery system. You click the bottom, it comes up, and you wipe your finger off. It's not a pot. I love that so much. However, I have not repurchased because I'm using the Lanolips overnight mask. It is, I don't know why I ever stray from Lanolips 101 ointment. It's just the best. Lanolin is the best for lips. So I would recommend this if it's in your budget and you like the delivery system and the package and you like Fenty. But I have not repurchased. However, the cherry scent that they came out with is tempting. But I have my eye on other masks once I finish the Lanolips, and I also feel like, why should I not just stick with Lanolips? You know, it's cheaper. Lanolips is like $17 for the overnight mask and $12.95, I think, for the regular 101 ointment. The overnight mask is just a little bit nicer because of the scent. For Lanolips, I think this is over $20, so yeah, it got cut. Then I let a lip balm go bad, which I'm really sad about. It's from Dedcool, which you wouldn't think of Dedcool being a lip balm company, but man, did this smell good, and it really did hydrate the lips. I have the vanilla one, but it's gone off. It smells quite crazy and also a little bit dry, so it's time to let go of it. I would absolutely 100% repurchase this, but if you know me, you know that I'm not running low on lip chat. But highly recommend this if you're going to pick something up from the Dedcool site, because this is not available in the other retailers that Dedcool has carried. If you're making a purchase direct from site, I highly recommend you throwing this in the cart. It's $10. I really love it. It's so good. Ugh, I'm sad. I have 2 samples here that I forgot, so let's cover those quickly. I have Dr. Jart Vital Hydra Solution Hydro Plump Water Cream. I loved this. I used this 2 nights and I'm kind of sad that it's gone. It was just a really nice hydrating water cream. I don't think I'd repurchase it because I like my routine now, but it was really nice. I'm glad I had a sample and got to experience it. And if I ever need something, I think I can keep that one in my back pocket. I have a firming vegan collagen prep serum from the Outset. I have other samples from the Outset that came with this that I need to use up, but man, I can't get past how putrid these smell that I won't even try out the other ones. They're putrid. It smells like, do you know how sometimes if you get an aloe plant, like not an aloe plant, an aloe leaf from like the grocery store or something, you split that baby open and it smells slightly of BO, but it's like aloe BO scent. That's what this smells like, and I can't have that on my face before I go to bed, so I'm out on the Outset. And then the last, oh shoot, I skipped a category, y'all. I skipped SPF. I am shocked that in 6 months, these are the only 2 SPFs that I have. However, I know that that's because I have a lot of SPFs that I kind of switch in and out, and I'm about to empty another one. So this is crazy, but I had a pile to work through, and I don't know what to say because I wear SPF every single day. So, and I think a large contributor to that is something that we're going to cover. The first one I have is Dr. Dennis Gross. Get ready for a long title. Dark Spot Sun Defense Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 50 with Mellow C Complex. This was my holy grail SPF for a long time. It worked super well under makeup. It was kind of matte, like there wasn't any oiliness. It sunk into the skin and it didn't add a ton of glow, but it also didn't dehydrate the skin. It hydrated the skin just fine, and it was SPF 50. The problem with this is the white cast, and it's also like $49. That's crazy. Now, keep in mind, you can use HSA. If you have an HSA account, you can use HSA for anything SPF 30 and above. Take advantage of that pre-tax dollar, you know. Anyway, the white cast is crazy, even on me, and I am very fair. So I had switched out then to the Live Tinted. So I do not recommend this because I have since moved on to the Live Tinted under makeup. This is only SPF 30 though. And I will say that first one is all mineral. This is all mineral. What I would recommend in place of Dr. Dennis Gross for SPF 50, looks good under makeup, hydrates the skin but not too much, and sinks into the skin and doesn't give too much of a glow, is the Prequel SPF. However, if you want something that is super hydrating, is a really nice glow, and works really well under makeup, and works for all skin types, because I have used this on a plethora of people and I've gotten a lot of people hooked on it. This was a recommendation from Megan. Thank you, Megan. I've used this for a few years, or at least a year, over a year now, and I really love this. I highly recommend it. I haven't gone through more because I use the jumbo now. So there you go. Then the last thing in the skincare category is I emptied a Clean Skin Club towelettes. This is the small size. I have used a big size, but they came, I don't think I have the box to show because I got them inside the wooden container. I love these so much. I don't use these every night. Clearly in 6 months I've gone through a large box and then a box of the small. Highly recommend these. They're hygienic. I talk about them in other empties. I'm sad that Jaclyn Hill talked about them because I don't want the price to go up. However, I highly recommend these for anyone who struggles with acne and just needing to keep everything using on the face clean. It has fabric certifications that it's green. Do with that information what you will. I don't use them all the time, but they're nice to have. And also, my camera keeps overheating, and I am due to go on a date tonight with my husband. This took a little bit longer than I anticipated, so we're going to focus just on skincare, and we will reconvene with makeup because I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 makeup products, which is very exciting. So I hope to see you in the makeup video, and we're also going to do body care and hair care. That one's going to be a long one. So I hope that you're having a wonderful day. You enjoyed this skincare video, and I will say my top 3 that I would recommend from this is the HEO mask, Submerge, and the Vanicream Cleanser. Alright, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.